Strong Cities 2030 is a new initiative of Konrad-Adenauer Foundation, which was launched in 2018 during a conference in Essen, Germany. The aim of Strong City 2030 is to promote sustainable urban development, which includes ecological, economic, and social development, with an integrated approach so that they can support and promote each other. Through the global exchange of knowledge, concepts, and best practices within an international cooperation, young local politicians are enabled to develop politically competitive plans for their cities which meet the changing requirements of a rapidly urbanizing environment. Strong Cities 2030 recruits its members from the Foundation's vast international network of contacts to local authorities, political decision-makers, urban experts, and think tanks. The COVID-19 pandemic has put national and local governments around the globe under immense political pressure and has revealed the interconnectedness of cities in today's globalized world. Everywhere, cities are at the front line of the fight against COVID-19, from managing overstretched health and social services to enforcing travel bans and lockdowns. While national governments have developed strategies to protect their citizens and contain the spread of the virus, it is up to the cities to implement them and put these strategies to action. How are cities around the world handling the COVID-19 pandemic? What measures do they put in place to protect their citizens? And what lessons can be learned for the future? Members of the Strong Cities 2030 network share their experience and personal insights.
As far as here in Houston, a couple weeks ago, they canceled South by Southwest in Austin, which was a really big deal. That was kind of the big signal to everybody. People are dealing with it okay, but definitely a strong economic blow. And then we've had an oil crash on top of that, which has kind of doubled the blow.
We have a national lockdown. People stay home. Schools and universities are closed. All those who can work from home. Restrictions were introduced on movement, gatherings, and access to parks. From today, we also have to wear masks in public spaces.
In my city, as well as in the whole country, the response was a bit delayed. That's why it is costing lots of lives.
In fact, we have a whole bundle of actions to help with taxes, to help startups, and many things more.
The first step was to limit the number of public gatherings to 500 people, down then to 100 people. The government has put billions of dollars into a rescue package. They've rescued the childcare services. They've also announced JobKeeper rather than JobSeeker allowances, so paying businesses a sum of money to keep on employees over the next 6 months.
Cities are imposing the national regulations, maintaining infrastructure and switching to online services. They have transferred extra funds to support hospitals. Rents for municipal properties were suspended for closed establishments like restaurants or hairdressers. The metropolis is coordinating amendments to public transportation to support isolation.
The government has provided a small grant that is possible to in these difficult moments without jobs and payments, especially for those in the informal economy. But yes, of course, there's no final solutions, many things yet to be seen, but the political scenario doesn't help the actual solution and overcoming of the situation.
In mid-March, measures were announced that were considered more radical. Nevertheless, the population in Austria has responded very well to these measures, as it was made very clear to them that it was with the goal of protecting our population and not limiting them from anything. These measures included the closure of schools, universities and educational institutions. It was pretty much a lockdown because also companies were asked and ordered to, where possible, get their people something that they could do at home.
As a country, we have realized the importance to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, because, for instance, the measures taken will be a disadvantage to the less fortunate. For instance, children going to school will not be able to access curriculum or internet compared to other kids who are economically stable. The transport cost has also gone higher, and families struggling are not in a position to meet their expenses.
Generally, I think people show a lot of empathy and initiative, and I think a lesson from the situation as far might be that it's worth encouraging and supporting citizens rather than just imposing restrictions. I'd like to really wish everyone good health in these difficult times. Stay strong.
My hopes? I hope we will be stronger together afterwards. The challenges of such a crisis shows us that we have to work hand in hand, not just in our own state, but in the European Union and worldwide.
And also something that's currently happening here in Graz is that we are preparing for our city council meeting next week, which will take place in person to ensure that this coronavirus doesn't stop everything and that we can get out of this stronger again.
The fight against the COVID-19 pandemic has exposed cities' weaknesses and strengths, not only in terms of public health care and social services, but also in terms of political leadership and a capable administration. The pandemic highlights that cities around the world, as centers of social, cultural, and economic activities, are connected, do not operate in isolation, and therefore need to collaborate, share expertise and know-how. Konrad-Adenauer Foundation, with its Strong Cities 2030 initiative, aims to build an international network of local politicians and urban experts and facilitate such international collaborations so that cities can learn from each other and hence become more sustainable and stronger in the future.